And Mac with Mac Painters and Mac Maids. This is actually a nice listing by Cathy LaRose with Coldwell Banker and Whispering Pines. The clients just moved away 30 minutes ago. They drove up north, and it is our job now, Mac Painters and Mac Maids, to turn this house over and get it ready to put on the market tomorrow. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. This is actually you could easily come through and repaint this house. Any painting contractor in Moore County is probably going to quote between $5,000 and $6,000 to repaint the house. It doesn't really need a full paint. Matter of fact, there's a lot of areas that we can just touch up and just get the house looking much better, to where we can save the client thousands of dollars on a lowball offer. Typically on a house that needs to be repainted, a buyer's going to come through and they're going to lowball offer $5,000 to $7,000 to discount the price so that they can come in and repaint. If we do a good job of touching the house up and being efficient about it, for just a few $100s, we can save the client thousands of dollars on a lowball offer. Come on, let me show you how we do it. Good. All right, well, we're in the eat-in kitchen now, and what I want to show you first is right here. This is a section that I came through and I cut out a little section of the drywall so that we could take it to Sherwin-Williams and do an exact color match. Now, many people will say, oh, I know the color. I've got some leftover paint from when we painted before. We never want to use that paint, because once a color has gone on the wall and it's sat there for a couple years, it's no longer good. It's practically a completely different color on the wall than is still in that bucket of paint. So to be able to do an accurate job of touching the house up and not having to repaint full walls, we need to do a color match. So that's what we've done. As you can see here, we've got some scuff marks, we've got some nail holes. This is a wall that needs to be completely repainted. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna repaint this wall. Then we're gonna come through and we're just gonna roll underneath the windows here because it's particularly dirty, but we're not going to up here. Now, under the bar here, you typically have a bar stool, and the kids are normally touching the walls and their feet are kicking the wall. So we're gonna have to repaint this and this here. Now, this is a nice clean section here. We're just gonna fill a couple nail holes, we're gonna touch it and make it look as clean as possible. Now, this is the TV wall here. As you can see, it's pretty dirty here, but the TV, again, is just gonna cover this section. So we're not gonna waste the time and money to repaint this. However, this wall is a completely different story. There's a lot of nail holes in this. We have furniture scuff marks. And if we try to touch it up, it's not gonna look right. It's not gonna blend. So we're gonna need to repaint this entire wall. This is where we'll spend most of the time today. As you can see, we've got tall ceilings, we've got the ladder out. So we're just gonna paint this wall because this is the entryway. We want this to pop. This is, in the scheme of priorities, when you're gonna invest into what to paint, what not to paint, the entryway, the initial pop when a prospective buyer comes in, that's the important thing. So that's what we're gonna spend. Now we're gonna go into the dining room. The dining room it's actually very clean. We have 3 walls in here that do not need to be touched. I mean, other than just light touch up, light scuff marks. But this wall here, this was particularly dirty. I think they had a lot of pictures on the wall. We got nail holes all over the place. We're not going to be able to blend this wall. So we're going to repaint this completely. Last of all, the maids are going to come in actually in a couple hours here, and the first thing we're going to have them do is clean the baseboards. They're going to get on their hands and knees and they're going to clean all these baseboards. Then we'll have an accurate picture. We'll be able to go behind them with white paint and just touch up scuff marks on trim, on your window casings, on the baseboards. Very important to have those clean and white and pop. And if we have that, we really can avoid a full paint job. There's just a few spots upstairs in some of the kids' rooms that we're going to touch, clean them up. A wall here, a scuff there. But on this house, my goal is 6 hours to be in and out, which is going to cost the client about $400. Typically, we're between 4 and 8 hours on a touch-up. This is about a 6-hour job here. So for $400, we're going to save the client a few $1,000s. I'm pretty confident. Anyway, that's the system. We hope you'll put us to the test and give us a call with any questions.